The bottom line of the report is this, quote, the impeachment inquiry has found that President Trump personally and acting through agents within and outside the U.S. government solicited the interference of a foreign government, Ukraine, to benefit his election, or his re-election, I should say.
This is a carefully orchestrated media smear campaign. What you've seen in this room over the past 2 weeks is a show trial. The witnesses deemed suitable for television by the Democrats were put through a closed-door audition process and a cult-like atmosphere in the basement of the Capitol.
Well, it is a partisan adventure, and it's not a real impeachment the way that impeachment process has worked the other times it's been used.
What have they delivered? The impeachment version of three-card Monte. Notorious short con card trick where the mark, in this case President Trump and the American public, stands no chance of winning.
Democrats on 3 House committees on Tuesday released a report documenting the impeachment case against President Trump. The document laid out the conclusions of the inquiry into allegations that he abused his power by pressuring Ukraine to help him in the 2020 presidential election and then impeded attempts by Congress to investigate. In the 2 days before President Trump forced out the American ambassador to Ukraine in April, his personal lawyer Rudolph W. Giuliani was on the phone with the White House more than a dozen times. Phone records cited in the impeachment report released Tuesday by the House Intelligence Committee illustrate the sprawling reach of Mr. Giuliani's campaign, first to remove the ambassador, Marie L. Yovanovitch, then to force Ukraine's new government to announce criminal investigations for Mr. Trump's political gain. That effort accelerated through the spring and summer into a full-court press to force Ukraine's new president to accede to Mr. Trump's wishes or risk losing $391 million in military assistance desperately needed to hold off Russian-led forces waging a separatist war in eastern Ukraine. From March 26 to August 8, as he developed an irregular foreign policy channel that eventually sidelined both National Security Council and State Department aides, Mr. Giuliani, who is not a government employee, was in touch with top-ranking officials, the newly revealed call records suggested. He reached out to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, the National Security Advisor at the time, John R. Bolton, Representative Devin Nunes, the top Republican on the Intelligence Committee itself, mid-level White House officials, the Fox News host Sean Hannity, a conservative columnist, an associate who has been charged in a scheme related to Ms. Yovanovitch's ouster, and the owner of a mysterious number, -1. Investigators are trying to determine whether the unidentified phone number belongs to Mr. Trump, said Representative Adam B. Schiff, Democrat of California, who leads the House Intelligence Committee. If so, the phone calls with Mr. Giuliani could be further evidence of the president's direct involvement in the Ukraine affair.
Congressman Devin Nunes, he is taking action, filing a bombshell defamation lawsuit against CNN after they published an alleged false story about Nunes traveling to Vienna to dig up dirt on quid pro quo Joe. Now, today's filing is explosive and exposes just how wrong CNN got this and just how low they will sink to try and smear a duly elected member of Congress. And, of course, the congenital liar, Adam Schiff, is not only continuing to steer Democrats off the impeachment cliff, but he's apparently promoting the smear effort as well, alleging that call logs showed Devin Nunes was working with Rudy Giuliani to dig up dirt on Trump's opponents in Ukraine. All right, here to get into all the details of all of this is Congressman Devin Nunes. All right, let's first start with the lawsuit. You ever traveled to Vienna, Congressman?
I've been in Vienna, but I wasn't there in 2018 when they said that I was there, so that's their problem.
Despite the fact that they did this, and even with every unfair advantage and unprecedented advantage they gave themselves, including preventing the president from having any access to the proceedings, preventing his counsel from having any participation in the proceedings, they now have come out of this and fundamentally failed to prove their case. So we're going to be moving into tomorrow, where we're going to have a panel of constitutional scholars, liberal law professors predominantly, and one Republican witness. And the Democrats are now going to be asking them questions about whether or not the behavior that they are inaccurately and lacking in fact, the behavior that they're describing would be impeachable. We would remind the Speaker of the House once again that the power of impeachment rests with the House of Representatives. The Constitution does not say that impeachment shall be the responsibility of a panel of liberal activists, but that's where we're going to be tomorrow. So.
Can't go into specifics of dates in which we obtain certain evidence, or indeed whether we obtain communications from one or multiple parties. But certainly the phone records show that there was considerable coordination among the parties, including the White House.
You know, you and I could have won Oscars for portraying two more different people.
That's so true. One of us playing a brash and controversial leader, known for loving whiskey and always being enshrouded in that trademark cloud of smoke.
Yes, and then, of course, you played Churchill. And here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a leading role.
I think part of it is his own insecurity as an imposter. I think he knows full well that he's in that office way over his head, and so he has to diminish everyone else.